Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Darrin Goodman with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. Today I want to show you how to play an arpeggio scale. So what I mean by that is that it's we're going to be playing the arpeggios that are rooted off of all of the notes from the major scale. So you can learn this. By learning this, you can transpose it into any key, and it'll give you the ability to like follow a chord progression and play arpeggios over the top of it. You can incorporate it into your soloing and stuff, because whenever you play these shapes, they'll always be in whatever key you're playing in, and then if you play the arpeggio over the top of the chord in the progression, it just really sounds nice. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at this. Alright, so for this we're going to be looking at the shapes that are in the key of G major, or E minor if you rather. And like I said, that if you learn the sequence, then you can just move it around to whatever key you're in. Alright, so the first one we've got is G major. So and these arpeggio shapes are just on the first three strings, because these are just kind of the where you want to start, in my opinion. So put your first finger on the 7th fret of the first string and your 4th finger on the 10th fret. We're gonna and you can play this any way, like you could pick every note. I'm using some pull-offs and stuff in here. So we're gonna pick that note, pick the first string, so we're on the 10th fret, and we're gonna pick and do a pull-off to 7. And then we're gonna follow that to the 2nd string, 8th fret with 2nd finger, to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then just ascend back up and hammer on that last note. So pick, pull, pick, 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 hammer. So that is G major, and it is also just the major shape in general. So where your root note is the note that's on the 2nd string. So just wherever you move that around, then that becomes the what voicing you're doing. So like I said, this is here on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, that's a G, and this is the major shape. And if you notice, this first part of it kind of looks like your D major chord. Alright, so the next chord that would be in this key would be A minor. So now we're going to move up. We're going to put our 4th finger on the 12th fret and our 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 1st string. And we're going to pick, pull, and then I like to use my middle finger here to go to the 10th fret of the 2nd string. Some people will do it like this, just whatever's more comfortable for you. So pick, pull to the 10th fret of the 2nd string with your 2nd or 3rd finger, and then to the 9th fret of the 3rd string with your 1st finger, or if you were using your 3rd finger here, it would be your 2nd finger. So you can do it like, or I've just always done it this way, so I just have muscle memory to do that. Alright, so then the next chord in the scale would be B minor. So we're just going to take this exact shape that we just did here, and we're just going to move it up a whole step. So now we're going to be on the 14th fret of the 1st string with our 4th finger, and the 10th fret with our 1st finger. So pick, pull, then to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, to the 11th fret of the 3rd string, back to the 12th fret of the 2nd, back to the 10th of the 1st, and then hammer on to 14. Then from there, we go to C major. So you just take where your 4th finger is now, you just move up a half step. So now we're on the 15th fret, and we're going to do that same shape that we did earlier for the major. So now we're going to be picking 15 and pulling to 12, and then to 13 on the 2nd string, 12 on the 3rd, to 13 on the second, back to 12 on the first, and hammer to 15. Then the next chord is D major, so we're just going to take this shape and move it up a whole step. So now we're 17, 14, 15, 14, 15, 14, hammer to 17. Then from there, we have E minor. So now we're going to move our fourth finger up a whole step. So now we're on the 19th fret with our fourth finger, first string, and the 15th fret with our first finger. And we're going to do that same minor shape that we did before. So 19, pull to 15, 17 on the second string, 16 on the third, back to 17 on the second, back to 15 on the first, hammer to 19. And then, after E minor, we go to the kind of weird one that we're not, that you're probably not going to be using this one nearly as much, but it's still good to know, and that is F sharp diminished. So for this one, now we're going to move our fourth finger from the 19th fret. We're going to go up a half step to the 20th fret. Now this one is going to be a different shape than what we've done before. So when we're doing this, like the major, the arpeggio, what we're playing is we're playing the first, third, and fifth notes of the major scale. So it's a major triad. And then for the minor, we're flattening the third. Well, for the diminished, we flatten the third, and we also flatten the five. So we're on the 20th fret of the first string with your fourth finger, and then we're going to be on the 17th fret of the first string with your first finger. So pick, pull, and now we're going to go to the 19th fret on the second string. So in this case, I'm going to use my third finger. And then to the 17th fret of the third string with your first finger, and then back up. And then finally, we're just back to G major again, but we're one whole octave higher. So now we're 22nd fret of the first string with your fourth finger, 19th fret with your first finger, and that same major shape. So that's the entire sequence. So I'll play through the entire sequence slowly. Whoops. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that and you found it useful and got something out of it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if there's something you'd like to see either myself or one of the other instructors at guitarcontrol.com do in a future lesson. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, so until next time.